Listen, Akamath is that bitch. Like, she is who she thinks she is. I read 8 books in the month of May and somehow managed to go from cozy Omegaverse romance to complete and total emotional devastation. So let's start with A Pack for Winter. 5 stars, easily. I ate this book up. I think I did listen to it on audio, and I think one of my favorite things was when they get snowed in. I don't want to give too much away, but like, guys, check it out. And then I went on to A Pack for Spring, and this is all part of the Cozyverse by Amelia Emerson and Eliana Lee. I loved how the pack dynamics in A Pack for Spring were a little bit different than what we see with A Pack for Autumn and A Pack for Winter. Oh my gosh, yes. And then I went on, I've got my arc for A Pack for Summer, which comes out in June, I believe on the 16th. So good. Now this one I did not listen on audio. The others I listened on audio. This one I read because I had the arc for it, and it is so good. I love Summer and her pack. They might be my favorite. It's so hard for me to pick a favorite pack. And we have a different pack dynamics going on with Summer's pack, but so good. And we've kind of got like an emo boy, and like that's my vibe. So I love that. Any of these 3 books, okay, the entire Cozyverse, which is 4 books total, will be good for anyone who already enjoys Omegaverse or who is new to Omegaverse and they're wanting to dip their toes in the water, because it is Cozyverse. So while she does tackle, you know, chronic illness rep, all sorts of different diversity rep, mental health, it is like cozy romance at the end of the day. So it's a really good stepping stone for anyone who's been curious about Omegaverse. And it's also good for people who like Omegaverse and also like, you know, sweet romance. Then I went on and listened to The Tradwife by Carrie Hughes. I actually received this as an arc from NetGalley, but I was running a little behind. So the day that it came out, I bought and listened to the audiobook on Audible, and it was so good. I ate it up. I gave this one 4 stars. We're definitely in mystery thriller territory. This would be a good intro for someone wanting to kind of getting into mystery and thrillers. It's an interesting take on tradwives and content creation. In The Tradwife, our main character ends up getting this amazing gig working as a content manager for this tradwife creator, and let's just say that things are not what they seem, and it was a very intriguing listen. Okay, Blood of the Firstborn by Georgia Perry was so good. This one is good for fans of ACOTAR because I felt like it was very like ACOTAR inspired, but also like different. We've also kind of got like a zombie infection deal going on. I've seen some people say it's like the ACOTAR meets The Walking Dead, and I could agree with that. I couldn't put it down. I was like enthralled in this book, and I'm so excited for the second book to come out. You may or may not know that I have a book club on Fable called The Archives, and in May we read The Poppy War. I did do a mixture of audio and eyeball reading for The Poppy War, and guys, this was so good. I wasn't really sure what to expect going into this book, but I knew that it was supposed to be dark. I knew that it's obviously about war, and wow, it is dark. This book didn't have trigger warnings in it, which I'm not someone who normally reads trigger warnings. I just go in and see what happens. A friend of mine who read this with me in the book club did point out to me how there's no trigger warning. It definitely gets very graphic in its depictions of, you know, war and war crimes. So that's definitely something that you want to be aware of if you're going to read The Poppy War. But it was, wow, like this definitely gets down into the nitty-gritty of war and humanity and, you know, rebellion. One of my favorite discussion points for The Poppy War is Rin's character arc. It's something that I feel like I could talk about for days, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where Rin's character takes us, because wow. Wow, that's all I could say without giving spoilers. I did rate this 4 stars. I am also in the middle of my Mossverse reread. So in May, I worked my way through A Court of Mist and Fury, and this book, I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it the second time around, because when I first read the Mossverse, especially the ACOTAR books, I read them all in like a day each. Like I breezed through these books like within 1 or 2 days. I just absolutely devoured and consumed them. And now I do, you know, theories and ACOTAR breakdowns and things like that. So I'm reading a little bit closer on my reread. And listen, Akamath is that bitch. Like she is who she thinks she is. There's so much, you know, there's all the drama and tension and all of that going on between Feyre and Tamlin. And then we've got, you know, tension and banter and build up for Feyre and Rhysand. It gets a little spicier, and underneath all of that is so much depth, and that's where I think that SJM is like fantastic, because if you're just reading like I read the first time, you know, there were things that like felt a little off to me, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it initially when I first like breezed through these books. And it's all just hidden underneath that banter and tension and the drama and wars coming. There's so many Easter eggs and layers to this book that fantastic. You could see where I started reading on my Kindle because like my tabs kind of like phase off, but I have so many notes on Akamath. You know, I wasn't expecting to be so suspicious of Mr. Lucian on this reread, but he's on my list of suspects. Last but not least, we got through Dark Age by Pierce Brown. 6 stars. Like this book and this whole series really is becoming a god tier series for me. This book is so good. Max emotional damage. Okay, this is another one that's, wow, this is a brutal read. To read this and the Poppy War in 1 month was honestly insane. I'm not sure what I was thinking. You know, we're seeing some similar themes to the Poppy War. We're really diving into the human experience and war, and Pierce is asking these questions of what is honor? What makes someone honorable? What makes someone good? What makes someone evil? Is there a right or wrong way to rebel? What is freedom? What is the cost of freedom? You know, what's an appropriate cost for freedom? And it's this book is so good. This one, make sure you're ready, because there's a lot of really bad things that happen. I can't think of a more apt name for this book than Dark Age, because this is a dark age. And because of that, because I'm obsessed with this book and this series, I've already started Lightbringer. I normally don't like to start a book at the end of the month because it messes up my tracking if I don't have everything finished by the end of the month, but I still started this one before May was over, and I'm carrying it over into June, which is something that I hate to do, but I mean, I can't stop. I can't stop. I'm addicted. I'm hooked. I honestly want to just reread this series, and I probably will, just whether I'm going to do it right now or later, I don't know yet. But I will be carrying her over into June. So far, I'm loving it. I've made it through part 1, and I'm just starting part 2 right now. If I had to pick, my favorite book for the month would be Dark Age. The book that surprised me the most is going to be Blood of the Firstborn. I did not expect to get sucked into that book the way that I did. Like I couldn't put it down. And the book that is the most emotional is Dark Age. I'm sorry, Dark Age by Pierce Brown. If you know, you know. That's it. My favorite character out of the books that I read is probably Summer from A Pack for Summer, from the Cozyverse. I'm obsessed with Summer, actually. I want to be her. And the Booker series that I am most looking forward to continuing is Lightbringer from the Red Rising saga. It is what it is. Again, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. That's everything that I read or listened to in May. It was a pretty solid month for me, getting through 8 books and starting on a 9th. I keep telling myself that I'm going to slow down, and I've yet to slow down. Maybe June will be the month that I slow down. Stay tuned to find out. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, comment, share with a friend, do all the things, and let me know what was your favorite book for the month of May. Did you read any of the same books that I read? And if so, are your rankings similar to mine? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you.